up the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing. I won't forget the blessings that I don't deserve. Because one street over there's a life I could have known would have kept me from the one I love today. One street over.
Here we go. Good morning. This is 1100 WSG. I'm Utah LaVern, and this, yes, is One Street Over. What's going on One Street Over from where you live in? We are living and loving, living in Robertson County. We get to live and work in Robertson County. I am a full-time school teacher, so I am taking some time off right now. Of course, I am still doing radio because, once you get it in your blood, you just can't help it. And, there's been a lot of chatter this morning about Bill Cody, who passed. He was the voice of the Grand Ole Opry. He was, the king of WSM radio, and and he's Robertson County too. And so if you have not heard, I'm sure by now most of you have if you've been anywhere on social media. But you will find a lot of opportunity on WSM and different places to hear about his life and see a lot of stuff on him. I shared a post from Stephen Curtis Chapman. I've mentioned several times, Stephen and I are from the same area. I wish that I could say that he and I have stayed in touch since we've been in Nashville. We haven't. I mean, our paths cross from time to time, and we, can reminisce a little bit about, because we're the same age, and his dad taught me guitar. Actually had a couple of guitar lessons from Stephen, but Stephen is one of those guys that we are so incredibly proud of if you're from West Kentucky, the Paducah, Mayfield area. Anyway, Steve put up a post about him because Steve, which we were super excited about, was inducted into the Opry. He is a Grand Ole Opry member now, and so he got to know Bill, and so I shared his post. I don't know Bill, and that's something Lee Marie was kind of asking me about, and just because you're in Nashville radio doesn't mean you know all Nashville radio people, because Bill was always in the country music, side of it. I was always primarily talk radio and rock and the river, and, I worked some on Christian music, on contemporary Christian, but never, just spent 1 year working with Jerry on WSIX. So I don't really know the country music radio scene. Know very few people really in that world, but I've had an opportunity to meet Bill a couple of times. Super nice guy, and he is one of our Robertson Countyans. And so, again, just heartbroken and so shocked, really, because I had noticed I had taken a field trip from my class that at Greenbrier, because I teach audio video production. And so Charlie Maddows, who is, the sidekick for Bill, I do know him very well. We did radio together for a long time. He was actually our sports person on 105.9. It was 106 FM back then, and he was part of the morning crew. This is back when you had the whole, you had like a room full of people doing a morning show that we did with Phil Valentine, Terry Hopkins, Chris Kelly, who is actually working for the police department now, Chris Mumford, but and myself and Johnny B was there, and Charlie Maddows. So it was a whole crew of us, and so got to know Charlie really well. So when I wanted to take the kiddos to WSM Radio, because it's just a cool place. I mean, it's the thing that, come on in here, Chris. It is, to be perfectly honest with you, the Grand Ole Opry was the one thing that always drew me to Nashville, because I've always been involved in music in some way. And as a kid, I wanted to be on the Grand Ole Opry, and that was always a childhood dream. And so coming to Nashville and being around WSM Radio, it's always kind of been a pipe dream for me to get on WSM Radio, and so when Charlie made it, we were so excited for him, and for him to be the voice of the Grand Ole Opry right now, that's just so stinking cool, and we're so proud of him. But so I reached out to Charlie and I said, hey, can I bring my kids in for a field trip? And thought that, Cody would be there, and I'd get a chance to talk with him, because I met him one time at one of the Trash and Treasure things they had up here in Cross Plains, and I really think that's the only time I ever met him. Mm-hmm. But nonetheless, I was, I would love to have gotten to know him a little bit better. And so I thought he'd be in there. And when we got there, Charlie was like, no, he's out. I had no idea he was sick. I didn't know that's why he had this extended time away from the show. And Charlie was just Charlie and Kelly were there and just beyond gracious and just let my kids get on the air. It was just the coolest thing ever. But when I saw Charlie is the one who posted something a couple of weeks ago. And I was like, oh no. And I'm so sad for his family. I've got a lot of friends that knew him well. I'm thinking you probably did because you're across Plains. Yeah. And so
my sister lived right across the road from him.
Yeah, see, and then Dr. Osborne, our principal, because when we were going to go on the field trip, she says, well, let Bill know. No, I said, hi, we're friends. And I had no idea. So I've got a lot of friends that were super close with Bill. And but that's all I can speak to him because I didn't really know him, but I know you did.
Yeah.
Right? So do you have some thoughts you want to share this morning?
Just the nicest, gentlest. I mean, he is a definition of a gentleman. If you saw him out in public, he had there was no air about him at all. I mean, it was not like, his real name was Trent Klutz. So.
Okay. See, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Yeah.
So, what you saw out in public was just Trent, then your neighbor, and I never saw him without a smile on his face. That's the thing about him is when you saw him, typically he had a smile on his face. If he saw you across the way in Kroger, he was going to make an effort to come. If you didn't see him and made an effort to go over to see him first, if you didn't see him, he would see you and he would come see you and talk to you. Mm-hmm. And just that kind of person, just super all the way around. Yeah, very genuine.
And again, I really think that's probably the only time I met him face to face is at that, because I had, and I really don't know why. I've stopped by to see him because of something, and something I wanted to share with him. Mm-hmm. And so I sought him out, and he was doing a show. So, we couldn't really talk that much. I mean, he was super polite, very, kind. Just couldn't, like you said, very much the gentleman. I know Julie Bernard was there, and Barry Richards were there because they were all kind of doing some stuff, doing segments with him. Mm-hmm. And so I talked, Julie and I sat there and talked for 20, 30 minutes, waiting for her turn to go on the show. But I was surprised at that point to see how many people in Cross Plains or in that area knew him as a friend. Yeah. And he was definitely friends with the Bernards, but the way he was talking with Julie, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And so I just had no idea of how well he was. I didn't know. Is he from here? Is he from this area? Or
I don't know if he's from here or not.
So I don't either. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I was wondering because I kind of think he maybe is. Barry and Rebecca will know because they know him real well.
Oh, yeah.
They know him real well. And so nonetheless, just everybody's still in shock, number one, when we realized how sick Bill was a couple of weeks ago. And to have to learn of his passing today, because honestly, he's not a lot older than me. He's like late 60s, I think.
I think somebody said he was 71.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
I thought he was, because I thought I saw where he was born in 58, and I was born in 62.
Maybe I'm wrong.
And I thought that's what I saw. Yeah. And if that's the case, he's only, 4 years older than me. So he would only be 66, 67 years old. So, because I thought that I saw somewhere that he was born in 58, because I thought I had heard too that he was in his 70s. But then I could have sworn I saw that he was born in 58. But I may be wrong, but that's just way too young. Because I'll be perfect. The older you get, the more you realize old is not what you thought it was. I say to my kiddos that I was joking around yesterday with, Dr. Weeks was in here and we were talking about seeing these kids and just the joy we get in just interacting with these kids and just getting to know them. And I said, one of the things I love to do when I meet them is like, I graduated from high school in 1980 and their chin just drops. They're like, how old are you, Miss Vivio? It's just the funniest thing. So, but the older I get, I'm planning on teaching till I'm 75, I truly am. Yeah. And I know you retired into teaching, and you probably have kind of that kind of same, you know, as long as I can contribute and be effective, I'm going to do 20 years. And so I'll be about 76. I think, I forget. I haven't done the math. My husband will be 75. He got a little bit earlier start than me in the school system. But what did you find out? Did you find a year? I
didn't. I did not find out anything about that.
But I feel like, but nonetheless, he was way too young to be gone from us, and such an incredible talent. But I love, I shared, people have asked me about it. And again, I did not really know him. So I shared what Stephen Curtis Chapman said. Stephen got to know him, and he said, country music and the world lost a truly great man today. The kindness, encouragement, support, and friendship of Bill Cody meant more to me than he ever knew this side of heaven. I'm thankful for the hope in Jesus that we shared that assures me I will see him again. But in the meantime, he will be missed by so many. And I ask you to join me and my Opry family in praying for his family. And so I just thought that was just perfectly said. Yeah. And so I went ahead and shared that from Stephen this morning. But again, quite a few people here in Robertson County very close with him, because he's a Robertson Countyan, and has been for a very long time. And so
Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Big time. I
mean, when you go into Cross Plains, that's what you see, a sign that says home of Bill Cody.
Yeah, isn't that something? Yeah, he's actually being inducted into the Tennessee Radio Hall of Fame this year. And it's the Tennessee Radio Hall of Fame began, oh my goodness, 10, 15, I don't know, it's been a while. And I've been to, when I pay my membership, I'm a member. I forget to pay it. It needs to be on an auto renew thing. But Phil has been inducted. I think Jerry Howe. I mean, there's a lot of different people. Devin O'Day. I've got a lot of friends that have been inducted into it. But you got to remember, the Tennessee Radio Hall of Fame spans the entire state, and you've got people from Clarksville or from Cookeville that are big in that area that are inducted. It's not just Nashville people, so there's people from all over the state. And when you go to these things, you get to hear some really cool radio stories about people from Memphis or, Holenwald or, and it's just neat because they have legacy careers in some of these small towns like here even. And so, but Bill is being inducted this year. And so that's going to be, if you go to the Tennessee Radio Hall of Fame, you might still be able to get some tickets. I'm not sure. I forget all the details on that. But Pamela Furr, who has, she's all over the place, but she is either the president or vice president. She was president for a while, and some reason I'm thinking she's a vice president now, or they've got co-chairs or something. I'm not really sure, but she is in leadership for it. So you could reach out to Pamela and, find out a little bit more about getting tickets if you wanted to go to because they'll do a whole presentation on Bill at that, and it'll be cool.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, there you go, guys. Chris Villines is here today, Mr. V in the Greenbrier High School halls, Mr. V, and he is here for StayPositive.News. He's got the T-shirt on. There you go.
There you go.
And this is StayPositive.News Day. And before we get into that, though, and of course we've already spent time talking about Bill, but before we get into that. Are you just loving teaching?
I am.
Isn't it the best?
It is the best.
I love it.
There are days when there's been a couple of days when I'm like, did I fall and hit my head when I decided to do
right.
this?
I go through the same thing.
And,
you do. You have those days, But
it's a joy.
So rewarding.
It is. It's very rewarding and, it's surprising. I mean, because you don't know. You think maybe sometimes, well, am I reaching this person or that person?
Yeah.
And then, lo and behold, they're coming to you with their honorary diploma.
Yeah.
There were a couple of those that I got 7.
Same here. Yeah.
And I'm like, a couple of those, I'm like, wow.
Yeah. I was the same way.
Because the one person I was always like, am I reaching her? Am I reaching her? Am I making an impact with her?
Yeah.
And she came to me and she said, you were you made the most impact with me. I loved your class. And I was just like blown away. Every year I'll have, somebody that will give me something and I'm just shocked because I'm like, I had no
idea, you know. And then the ones that you work really hard to try to reach that you think you're getting through to, and they and you worry about them beyond the days of their high school, because you're thinking, I don't know if we had. I wish we could have had you another year. You know, there's every year there's one of those that I worry about when they graduate, but I'm like, man, where are you headed? You know, and you try to stay in touch with them, and it's just you don't get response. So you have those, but then you have those that that were just quiet and didn't say a lot, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh. And I had one of them, she goes, I've never been this close to a teacher. And I was like, really? I was just so shocked. But because I thought this one particular one had pretty close relationships with several teachers. Had that happen last year too with one, and I was like so shocked. But yeah, it's just the most special thing. And I do love what we do through Renaissance. I brag on Samantha Grimes all the time, and I'm going to do it again because that lady works her tail off.
Oh my gosh.
And she is just, I mean, if you are not familiar with what we do with Renaissance, I saw Mr. Miller put something up on his social media about when they got another award through Renaissance, and he's like, kind of like, look at us, you know. It was kind of funny. I got a kick out of that because I know that he's been very thankful to be a part of the Greenbrier community, and but it was just kind of a cute post that I saw. But it was after we got another Renaissance award, and I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was kind of funny. And he was just like, "Take that," you know, and we're the best kind of thing. It was one of those kind of posts, and it was cute. But we just have a sweet community at Greenbrier, and it's just it is a positive news thing.
It is a positive news thing. It is so much. I mean, and Samantha, you're talking about her. I mean, she's. I call her the Energizer Bunny of Greenbrier High School. Yeah. I mean, she's all over doing this, doing that. Just never wears out, seemingly. Yeah.
You know, it's so funny because there are some teachers when I first got to Greenbrier, and honestly, they're not there anymore, that were kind of like, when I didn't know what Renaissance was, I didn't know what it was. Yeah. And they would be like, oh yeah, it's a, you know, kind of roll their eyes kind of thing. Like they didn't really like it. And I looked and as I realized what it was, I was like, this is amazing. This is incredible. Yeah. You know, and I couldn't believe that anybody would think it was anything, but I think it's just people who just want to kind of be left alone or just, you know, but it's so important for the kiddos. Yeah. And so I've been a cheerleader for her from the moment I met her, because number one, her work ethic. You know, when I see people that have a work ethic like hers, it just blows my mind. And because it's nice to see, because there's a lot of people that struggle with the work ethic these days. Nonetheless, we'll get off the Greenbrier bandwagon and get on to other things. We can do it all day. We could, because we really love our school. Yes. And we have a great community there. And anyway, but Chris and I, Mr. V, I'm Mrs. V, but I'm Miss Vivio. Some of the kids try to call me U-turn every now and then. I'm like, let's not do that. But well, they hear their parents call me U-turn, and so I'm like, let's wait until you graduate to call me U-turn. And so Mr. V and I are at Greenbrier High School. He teaches English, and I teach audio and video, and we absolutely love it. And so, but he also is an editor. How we got to know each other is because Chris did a story about Mark and I where we said we retired into teaching. We retired from our regular careers, and we're, you know, kind of looking for something to do, and found teaching, and we absolutely adore it. And and so you did a story about it for Positive.News. Sure, and then I hear he's going to do it. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And then he says he's doing English. And I'm like, oh, that's a tested subject, Chris. That's a lot, you know? So, but anyway, but you're just, you know, you're just knocking it out of the park for sure. Well, so
I try.
Very cool. Very cool. And the kids love you, and we all love you, but nonetheless, it's a good time. So you're here in the capacity, not as Greenbrier, but for Positive.News.
That's right.
So what are we going to talk about today, Chris?
Lots of things going on with Stay Positive. First and foremost, we're turning 3 years old.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that is incredible. That seems impossible. Time just goes so fast these days, doesn't it?
A week from today, we're going to have a little celebration of the 3 years. Come on out to Boom Boom Q in White House. and we'll have a meal and just a celebration of 3 years of Stay Positive News.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Are you going to be able to be there?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. So,
And anybody and everybody that we've written about or had, is a fan of Stay Positive News, what we're doing, come on out.
so give them the details on that again. Tell them again the time and where you're going to be.
It is from, let's see, next Wednesday, I believe, at 11:30.
So StayPositive.News is turning 3, and they're going to have a party, y'all. And you're invited.
We are excited about it. Mm-hmm. Let me get my particulars on here of it. But Stay Positive News just did a story that came out yesterday about free food giveaway that Wellhouse Church, which they meet at the Millersville Community Center, led by wonderful lead pastor Steve Cunningham. But they, every week this summer for 10 weeks, they're going to have a free food giveaway.
Awesome.
And they do it at the community center in the little side. There's a parking lot next to the community center that's open there, and no
strings
red tape,
attached.
no strings attached. Just if you give your child's name and their birthday, and I met a lovely lady last week that came, and she has 4 children. You get a box per child, and this is no skimpy little box. This is 8 to 10 pounds of food in these boxes.
Right.
And it's just it fits so well with that church's mission of being involved in the community and giving and being like Jesus would be.
I'm familiar with Wellhouse. My kids went there for a while, and that actually started with the pastor from Madison Church of Christ at if it's the same one, I know it is, but it's because they were at the skating rink for a while there in Rivergate, and then they moved up to Millersville. Yeah. And, but one of my boys was a part of that fellowship for a long time until they moved out to Mount Juliet. But they are a great bunch. They're a great bunch. I still have a lot of friends that are connected with them and in leadership there. And it is a really good gathering of Christians. And they do a thing at Christmas, and they do like this big giving thing at Christmas too. That's just it's amazing.
Yes,
and they're just good people, and they just want to serve. They just want to serve, and I love that they're doing this, and it doesn't surprise me at all.
Yes, and the volunteerism amazed me at that last Wednesday night when I went out there. There must have been 25, 30 people that were out there volunteering, and not just giving, they weren't just, hey, here's your, and they would talk to everybody. They would even, if people, they would ask, do you need prayer?
Yeah.
And they would even pray with people.
Right.
When they got their food, pull over here to the side and we'll hold your hand, we'll pray with you.
Yeah.
I mean, just beautiful to see that.
Yeah.
One thing I just found out, it's 11 o'clock.
Next Wednesday. This is the birthday party.
Yeah,
and where is it going to be again? We're jumping subjects here real quick.
I'm sorry.
Chasing a squirrel. But this is, they're doing at 11 o'clock, the party to celebrate 3 years of StayPositive.News is at 11 o'clock next Wednesday. Where?
At Boom Boom Q. It's 105 Maiden Lane in White House. If you're familiar with White House, there's a little street that turns almost right next to the Taco Bell there. And it's a little side street, and where Boom Boom Q is directly across the street from the Comfort Inn. Okay. There. Okay. It's you're not going to see it with the naked eye right from the main highway, but it's a beautiful Boom Boom Q is a beautiful facility for a restaurant. I mean, it's first class all the way.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I'll have to check that out. But now, is it going to be an hour long, or is it going to be a two hour? Is it like a drop in? Maybe
I think it's a drop in
kind of thing. And but it starts at 11. So if you get there at 11, you'll see somebody. But we'll try to get some. If you can message somebody and see how long it's going to be going on, because like whenever you do a party like say a tea or a baby shower or something to that degree. Sometimes it's it'll be from 2 to 4 and it's just a drop-in kind of thing. So I've got a feeling it's more of a drop. I mean, who knows? But they're going to celebrate. So be there at 11 and you know you won't miss it.
And the food there is fantastic. I don't know what they're going to do. Whether it'd probably be a sampling of food there from Boom Boom or but it's first class barbecue. I mean, it's
very cool.
Yeah.
So it's a barbecue restaurant.
It is. But they've got a variety of things there. Barbecue, a lot of chicken dishes, shrimp. It is. It's really really. It's something unlike White House has had.
Yeah.
Before.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. So we're talking with Chris Villines, talking about all things StayPositive.News. Of course, we did start off talking about Bill Cody, and if you've been under a rock, you didn't know that Bill Cody passed yesterday. He is a Robertson Countyan, and so I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people sharing thoughts about Bill today, but we wanted to look at a lot of the positive things in the news as well, and that's the goal of StayPositive.News. You need to follow, you need to like, you need to do all the things to make sure you get that in your feed to where when you're scrolling, you get the good stuff, right?
Yes.
So what else you want to talk about this morning?
Well, F3 Nashville is it's building stronger men through fitness, fellowship, and faith.
Okay.
We just recently did a story on that. Men supporting men, building through a community through accountability, mental health through connection, showing up consistently, leadership through service.
Right.
Kind of the key points there. We hear a lot about loneliness these days, and what stood out about this story is that these men, they intentionally create community for one another. Strong communities happen, when do they happen? When people invest in each other, and that's what these men are doing through F3 Nashville. So that's a neat story to check out on there. There's another one we called Ice Cream Inspiration and Giving Back, where businesses have a purpose, and one of their purposes is to give back locally, using that success to help other people. Small acts that create big impact.
And what did you call that one again?
That one, Ice Cream Inspiration and Giving Back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah.
I got this cute little picture of a little one here enjoying some ice cream. But, and so that's just, so it says Deja Vu celebrating Cora Fuller's victory over cancer with community blood drive.
Yes.
Okay. My goodness. Oh, anytime you got a little one that's going through a struggle, man, that just gets your heart, doesn't it?
It really does. And, White House has had, more than one instance of that. And I've never seen a community rally around people like White House does when in time of need like that.
That's one of the coolest things. People talk about what we have through social media and the struggles of the things that you see on it, but the good is that you get to share those stories, and you're made aware of these things that need our attention.
Yeah.
And it draws you in, and just is like ringing the bell and saying, "Hey, take a look at this." And those are the things we need to be focusing on, and not the heavy. But what a pretty little girl! But she's doing good.
She is.
That's wonderful. That is such a blessing to hear that. I love that. That is so exciting.
Another thing we had was it was called a viral act of kindness at an oil change, and it had an oil change technician in White House who helped a young customer. It went viral because it reminded people that that kindness still matters. And sometimes it's just the smallest moments like that that people remember forever. And this. It was unexpected. It went above and beyond, and it just shows how people still crave good news.
Well, so basically, that was just a guy just interacting with a kiddo while he was in the getting their oil changed, and it was just somebody posted how this guy being sweet to this little boy, and it was just cute and lovely. That just like you said, it shows how hungry people are for that. when you have those moments that are genuine,
Yeah.
and they're genuine, it just is so sweet. But yeah, this is a cute little posting here, but I love it. I love it. I love it. That is so sweet. But that's the kind of stuff you're going to see at Stay Positive, staypositive.news. Getting ready to celebrate their 3rd birthday.
Yes.
We want you to be a part of it. And if you have stories or things that you want to share, let me pause here and do one of our breaks. I was mentioning Barry and Rebecca. I've mentioned them several times because I know they are friends with Bill, and probably get Barry to, maybe come on and comment, because I know they've been friends for a long time. But Barry and Rebecca, they've been up in Cross Plains for 30 plus years now. And so it is home. And I'll tell you, they are absolutely passionate about all things Robertson County. And you will see them out and about. And if there's any kind of an event going on, they're going to be there and they're going to be vested. And they absolutely specialize in what goes on here in Robertson County. So if you're looking for a home right here in the county, reach out to them today. But they also buy and sell in the surrounding counties and across the state line in Kentucky. They've had a couple of homes that they've posted recently on their social medias up in Nashville. Barry worked for 17 years as a media marketing vice president in Nashville, so he knows Nashville very well. They're both originally from Kentucky, like myself, so they know Kentucky very well. And so they are just so well heeled in all things in this area. So whether you're buying or selling, if you want to be a realtor, you need to reach out to them today. They also seem to really get a lot of beautiful historic homes that they feature. Right now, Barry's got a feature. He says, if you love historic homes, our featured listings of homesofyesterday.com include options in Springfield and East Nashville. And I know some people that when they're looking for a home, that's what they want. They're looking specifically for a historic home. If that's your call, reach out to Barry and Rebecca and make sure you get on their call list, because they get a lot of them. And they are just a wonderful, wonderful couple to work with. But reach out to them today. Rebecca has her agency office up in White House, and Barry has his brokerage office here in Springfield. And they've also brought on Brandy Hasty. She's also working with them, and they are just a great resource for all things real estate, buying or selling. Or if you want to be a realtor, reach out to them today. You can go to sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or robertsoncounty.com, or you can give them a call, 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425, or 7424, but always let them know you turned sent you. Where we headed next, Chris? What else have you got for us?
Well, first of all, I want to piggyback on Barry and Becky, because they are wonderful, wonderful people. And went to church, still go to church where my sister still goes, my older sister, and my parents went, and they were very, very supportive, and I can't say enough about Barry.
I forgot that y'all went to church together or something. Yeah. I forgot all about that. But because he even plays music there, doesn't he?
Yes.
He's in the praise and worship band.
He runs the AV there, and
sweet little church. What is the name of the church there that you're?
Cross Plains United Methodist.
Methodist, and it is the neatest little sanctuary.
Yeah,
it really is. I love that building. It is because they've done music on the porch.
Yep.
A couple of times that my friend Bethany Tees has been a part of. Mm-hmm. And so I've gone to hear that and saw that Barry was up there playing. I was like, what are you doing? And I knew he played, but he's always at the Bluegrass Festival, but he never plays. He's always one of them that's, running things. So it's
and
just
another
cool.
Greenbrier connection on the porch there, our assistant principal, Larry Staggs.
Yes. He pops in. That's one thing that cracks me up is he pops in everywhere. When you talk about people, things that you want to do stories on, we were talking about the Miss Grimes. Larry's another one that would be a fun one to do a story on. And he's got a lot of tales to tell. And but we've got some, a lot of people have a story to tell. And if you've got somebody like that you want to share, just reach out to them at staypositive.news, or maybe you might even want to write something and send it in and submit it, because that's a thing written by our readers.
Yep.
So there are just all kinds of opportunities to share stories.
Yeah. I mean, we want to bang that drum as much as we can because, like I say, the average ratio is 17-1 negative to positive stories.
Yeah.
We want to try to help flip that script a little bit.
Yes.
And get as much out there the good that's going on. There's so much of the opposite in the world that you flip on the nightly news and what leads, what's it called? If it bleeds, it leads. And which is why I've tried to limit my intake of such such news because it can bring you down. It can bring you down. So. We try to steer toward what's good, and here's another example where Tate Ornamental in White House.
I love Tate Ornamental. Yeah. They're the coolest company ever.
Yeah.
And I've seen so many kids there. I mean, I'm like, I tell them, if you want to go talk to them, go ahead. I'm in.
Yeah, no, you're fine. But Joey Tate and his crew there are wonderful, wonderful people, and they. This is just one example. There's a lot of examples on a national stage where Tate Ornamental has created some of their work as you may not even realize. You go into like a downtown Nashville, one of these nice new hotels that they've built, and you might see an ornamental staircase there, and Tate Ornamental did it.
Right.
This is Epic Universe. This was Epic Universal Studios, where. Tate Ornamental did a lot of work for that. Incredible talent we have right here in our own backyard. Making a national impact.
We did a tour, the CTE program. We were allowed to go in there. It's been a couple of years ago now, and they gave us a tour of that facility. I had no idea it was even here. I had no idea. And they were working on stuff for that project. They had it all laid out, and I was like, it was the coolest thing.
Yeah.
And so I've had a couple of kids that have been like, they just didn't know what they wanted to do. They didn't want to go to college. They wanted to go into the workforce. And I said, this is a place I would go if that's what I wanted to do. That's right down my alley because there's an artisan aspect to it.
Yeah.
Working for them, and that's always been I've always loved, anything to do in the artisan world. And if that's your thing, man, it is a cool place to work. It just
Very
looks really cool, really cool. But I love that. So y'all did a story. When did y'all do that story? I'm looking for it. I'd love to read that.
This story, it's been a week or so.
Okay. I'll go in and find it, but that'll be great. So is it just talking about primarily the work that they do and where it's featured?
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll go in and look at it, but it is a cool place. And did they expand recently? For some reason, I was thinking there was an expansion out there. Maybe not.
Yeah, they are. They did expand some, and I think they're building another there's another facility that's being built right next to theirs right now.
Okay.
And I think
somebody had told me that, but
yeah.
Because when you're just booming like that, it's just you got to have room for it. That's cool.
Well, and the
That's
thing
really
I like
cool.
about them too is they give back to the community too. They're very involved in that area.
Yeah.
You want to sponsor an event. They've done that in the past, and they're still doing that to this day. But I think a lot of Joey Tate, he's born and bred in White House. I mean, he went to White House High School. He's a very big local success story. A multi-million-dollar company that they've built there.
And that's really cool. So I just think I'm going to definitely find that story and take a look at it because I really, that was one of those companies when I went and toured it with some of the CTE teachers. I was just so very, very impressed with it. It was so cool. Let me kind of mention something super quick here. I just was looking at one of your stories and it was talking about some rain showers. I do want to mention that if you're affiliated at all with Valley View Camp, Madison Church of Christ was started by my church, and it's an independent entity now. But lot of, I mean, my kids, my son, one of my twins met his wife out there, okay, and they got engaged out there. And so Valley View is very important to my family and to so many that I go to church with. It was flooded pretty major yesterday.
Yeah.
But it's just a cleanup now because those floodwaters recede very quickly. And so I think they lost a craft house and a little bridge over to the craft house is the only thing that was just lost. But there's just a lot of wet mud. I mean, if you've ever had to come in and clean up after the water gets high, it's just a mess to clean up. And they had campers there and they got them up to the pool is up on top of a hill. And that's always, having to hike up to the pool. But the kids were all up there, complete safety. And I think whatever church that was there this week, I don't think it was us. I can't remember when we're going, but I know they're saying now the Northfield Church is supposed to be coming in on Sunday. And the goal is to get it cleaned up so the kids can get back in there. So it's a mess, but it's also very much something that can be cleaned up. And I'm expecting they're going to be covered up with volunteers today. And if you're somebody that can get out there and volunteer, it's cleanup today. And man, they can use the more hands they've got, the quicker it's going to go. So if you're where you can go in and help clean up Valley View today, and that's over on Swift Road, I know they'd welcome you. Just come out and help them just get it cleaned up because they got more kids waiting to come to come and do the camp. So, but I just wanted to mention that I saw the rain. I see Lee Marie popping in here. She's got the Go Show coming up there'll be another full hour of local programming because today is Wednesday, so stay tuned for that. But let's pause again and do my other break. And then we'll get back to it and we'll have time to go through the rest of the stories that you want to cover. But we want to stop right now and mention Valor Mortgage. My friend Chris Armtrout, he is wanting to make sure when it comes to getting a mortgage, you do not have to go with these 1-800 numbers and, you're just inundated. If you do any kind of a search about mortgage, you're inundated with all these different options. The only option you need to know about is going to a local lender that can help you so you have a team on your side and you're not just a number. And that is what Chris wants you to know most importantly, is they've got a team of experienced loan officers to help you right here in Robertson County. They have an office just a couple of doors down from the theater, the new theater, and they are there to serve you. He says you absolutely can come in the office and see them, but he says call first because they're out and about meeting with folks, and you want to make sure they're there when you stop by. So the number to call is 615-671-9178, 615-671-9178, or you can go to valor.mortgage, valor.mortgage, get pre-approved today, because when it matters most, you deserve a lender you can trust, and they mean anything when it comes to a VA loan or an FHA loan or conventional or jumbo financing, whether it be that you're getting your first mortgage, your first home, you want investment, or you want to do a refi or pull equity out, whatever it might be, they're in the business of making sure that everything you need is possible for everyone and that homeownership is possible for everyone. So when you're needing help with all of your future financial decisions, with one of the biggest decisions you're ever going to make when it comes to mortgage, you need to buy with confidence and buy with Valor. Again, the numbers are 615-671-9178, 615-671-9178, or go to valor.mortgage, valor.mortgage, and get pre-approved today. Valor Mortgage, NMLS, number 1210804, DBA of Encore Lending Group, NMLS, 1249911. Equal housing lender, subject to credit approval, rates and terms subject to change without notice, not a commitment to lend. Let them know U-Turn sent you. All right, Mr. Villines, Mr. V, what else have we got? What else have you got for us?
Well, I want to confirm again that make sure we got the time correct. Next Wednesday, our 3-year anniversary birthday bash, 11:30 at Boom Boom Q. 11:30.
11:30, not 11. Okay, so 11:30.
Yeah. We spent 3 years proving that, that positive news isn't the absence of problems; it's the presence of people making a difference. So,
absolutely, I like how you said that. That was really good.
That's what we strive to do. So come out and celebrate with us. One thing I want to stress too: Miss Mabel
I was just about to ask about Miss Mabel.
Yeah. Miss Mabel needs you. Send your questions and scenarios for Miss Mabel, the funnier the better, to Sarah Riccardi, our wonderful, wonderful editor and leader of Stay Positive News. Sarah, SARAH, at StayPositive.News. If you've got a funny scenario that might be good for a Miss Mabel article, Mrs. Mabel would love to have that. You may just see Miss Mabel answer your call.
I love it. And it's always fun. It's always fun, and a little sometimes can be a little snarky. Kind of the kind of thing that you need to hear, but you didn't really want to hear, but you need to hear it, and it's just the truth be told. You need to hear what she has to say. So it's always a lot of fun. But Miss Mabel's definitely one of my favorites. Anything that you've had come up from Miss Mabel lately that you're like, oh yeah, that's dead on? Any of the ones that she's shared?
I love them all. I mean, everyone she does, I love. She reminds me of one of my grandmothers that my dear departed Grandmama Kleinert, Mama Kleinert, and some of her sayings that she had and the way she was is sort of like Miss Mabel is.
Yeah, for sure. I think we all have relatives that will remind us of Miss Mabel, and so it's a lot of fun. But and this most recent one is about I'm just overwhelmed. I'm just overwhelmed. And so she speaks to that, and just reminding you that sometimes you just got to push pause on things, and it's something you already know, but it's just kind of good to have somebody reinforce that sometimes.
Miss Mabel has been with us throughout, and she will be a staple for a long time with Stay Positive News. And
so if you've got something for Miss Mabel, Chris has just said that if you've got a question, do you think would be great? Reach out to Sarah.
Yep.
And say, hey, I've got a question for Miss Mabel that I want her to take a look at StayPositive.News. But that's a real easy one to do. So if something just comes up and you're just like, oh, this would be good.
Yeah.
Send it on.
Yeah,
Always looking for good ideas.
Over the holidays, somebody sent one in that, hey, I just can't get excited for the holidays. How can I get out of my humdrum or my doldrums with that? And it's always interesting to hear how Miss Mabel's going to respond, and she makes perfect sense with what she's recommending, and it's always, like I said, it adds that bit of humor and sarcasm in there that makes it what it is. It's a popular feature.
I love it. It's a lot of fun. But go check out Miss Mabel. You'll love her stories. And what have you written lately? Have you got some stuff out that you want to share?
I said, the Wellhouse Church.
Well, that was yours? Okay.
That was mine.
Okay.
And with school and me going to school still.
You're in classes.
And the passing of my father last month. I've had a full plate, so I haven't been able to devote as much time to Stay Positive. I always want to be involved with it. I have been from day one, and I always want to continue to be. But that's the first story I've had this summer. And I've got another one coming out that will run next Tuesday on Harold Ward and Vinnie Ward from Greenbrier High School, who both made All-State wrestling.
Yeah, they're exceptional young men. They really are. Just great athletes, and just that's a cool. I'm so glad you're doing a story on this.
Yeah. I think the only brother tandem that made All-State that I saw on the wrestling team, Harold with the 120-pound class and Vinny with the 157-pound class, and just how they're different as night and day. I mean, they're very different individuals, and they're very different in how they approach. But the end goal is the same: to win and be excellent and earn the accolades. And their mother Jenna has been a really driving force for them and a motivating force for them, and always pushes them. Okay, well, you've done this now. What are you going to do to do even better?
Next? What's next? What's next? That's
What's
good.
next?
Don't sit in it. What's next?
Yeah, and
That's cool.
Vinny's still got a year left. Harold graduated, all-time winningest wrestler in Greenbrier history, 176 mat wins. And Harold's just as humble as the day is long.
I don't know the boys.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I would say, that with the being that you teach English, you get to meet most of the kids at some point. They'll come through. You'll have a lot of them. With me, it's only the ones that are in my program. So that's the only kids I really get to know. I know of the boys and their achievements and stuff, but I've never really been around them. But I hear they're just great guys.
They are. I've had Harold in class twice, and he, you can tell, great athletes, and they just have that. To me, they have kind of like that 1,000-yard stare.
Yeah.
And Harold and Vinny both have that, and they just, their nose to the grindstone, and that's in the classroom too. That work ethic extends over to the classroom.
Yeah.
Harold admits English wasn't his favorite subject, but he gave his all with everything he did. Never took shortcuts, never took the easy way out. And I admired that a lot.
Well, and one thing that employers will tell you, when a student puts something on their resume about their athleticism, it stands out. Because to be a part of a team, you have to have a strong work ethic, or you're not on the team.
Yep.
And so if you've been able to maintain a team, or and I'm assuming that, which one of them graduated?
Harold.
Is he going to wrestle in college? Is he going on to higher education? What's he doing?
He is not going to wrestle in college. What he's doing, though, he's still going to be involved in wrestling.
Okay.
He is involved with a club wrestling team as a coach. He's going to be both a coach and a participant.
Okay.
He can still wrestle for the club. And then West Creek High School, out of near Clarksville, they want him to come on and help their team.
Oh, wow.
At West Creek.
So he's going to get to do some coaching. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
But he's in Michigan right now, which is where they're from, and they're up visiting family. When he gets back from Michigan, he's going to actually start in concrete work. And, so he will be in the skilled trade. That's kind of where his heart is, and in wrestling, still being wrestling. And then Vinny, like I said, Vinny's got another year. Vinny's the quarterback of our football team, so he's going to be starting football practice very soon if they haven't already.
I think we're coming up on the dead period.
Yeah,
I think we're about to. When is the dead period for athletics?
Ooh.
It's pretty close. It's pretty close.
I think after July 1st or somewhere they can start practicing football again.
So, well, I thought we're just entering the dead period, because I thought they were practicing now.
Maybe so.
But I know I think we're coming up on a dead period that they'll be out and they'll take time off. Who knows? I can't keep up with it. But I'm glad you're doing a story on the Ward boys, because they are really interesting fellows.
They are, and they've wrestling's kind of an unsung sport when you stack them up, the football, the baseball, the basketball.
It doesn't get the attention that the others do.
It doesn't get the attention, but it requires a vast amount of technique and skill and discipline.
Yeah.
That it teaches you a lot on those fronts, and that's where Harold and Vinny have excelled. And Vinny could possibly be the Harold finished third. Harold finished fourth at the state tournament.
Right.
Vinny finished third in his weight class in state tournament. And, there's a real feeling that Vinny could possibly be the state champion in his weight class.
Wouldn't that be cool, this coming up? So he's got another year. And I too, do you know what his plans are after high school?
He wants to go to college and
compete, or does he want to compete in college?
He's open to that. He said interested,
Okay.
whether it's football or whether it's wrestling.
Okay, cool.
He definitely wants to go to college. He said, if I don't get an offer for either one of those sports, I'm still going to go to college.
You will.
Yeah.
I think you will.
Yeah, he wants to go, I think, for physical therapy.
Oh, well, that's cool. Very cool. Yeah. I love hearing these kids. And it's so interesting to see the different pathways, too. And I didn't know he was, the older one was interested in concrete. That's something that's always fascinated me, the artist, because there's an artisan level to that, too, creative stuff. So that's really cool. I love it. Anything else that you want to cover? We got Lee Marie's going to push us out of here in just a minute. So.
Oh, wow. Oh,
anything else you want to cover before we wrap it up this morning?
Just community, things we try to stress at Stay Positive: community pride, kindness. If you've got any stories out there that are just exceptional, where somebody has been exceptionally kind, that you think, hey, that needs to be told. That story needs to be told. Mm-hmm. We would love to hear it. If we want to share the positivity going on in our area. Be it Robertson. We mainly focus on Robertson and Sumner counties. Mm-hmm. Like I say, Sarah, SARAH, at staypositive.news. If you've got those type of stories out there that you think, hey, this fits the bill perfectly for a positive news entity, send them to her.
And if you've got students that you want featured,
yes.
They have the student feature that you can be a part of. If you've got something, again, for Miss Mabel, send that in. But they have like Student of the Week or Student of the Month. Is it a Student of the Month?
Student of the Month.
Student of the Month that they do. So this is, again, Mr. V's gotten the ward boys out there, but there's several students that I would be like, oh, y'all need to hear this guy's story or this young lady's story.
And we want students to be involved with the formation. So we have a student creative content team.
Okay.
That we, help create content for us. Mm-hmm. We want students to have that input too. So if you've got, somebody you know of, or if you're listening to this and if you're a student and you have writing, I would love to help make these positive stories. Mm-hmm. We'd love to talk to you.
Be great experience. If this is something you think you want to do beyond high school, this would be a great place to get your feet wet and to get yourself published and just see what it's like to get a story out there. You might go viral. You might know. So, thank you, Chris. Anything else before we wrap up?
I'm headed to an in-service from here.
Oh, bless. Yeah. Well, invite everybody to the Boom Boom Q again next Wednesday.
Boom Boom Q, Maiden Lane, 105 Maiden Lane, White House, next Wednesday, 11:30. And come on out, help celebrate with us. 3 years of Stay Positive.
3 years of StayPositive.News. So stay with us, StayPositive.News. Follow them, like them, do all the things. Make sure that they're coming up in your queue on your social media page. But stay tuned because we've got Lee Marie coming up, my sweet friend, for another full hour of local programming with The Go Show. So stay right where you are. Again, this is 1100 WSGI. God bless you. Have a great day.